Ah. Was this really that hard? Now, for those of you in the know, I'm not actually talking about the whole game. This game is a classic, and pretty fun. Easy to pick up and play, arcade driving at its finest. At least at the time. No, I'm only talking about the tutorial. Once again, if you aren't in the know, you might be thinking, how in the hell is a tutorial hard? I mean, it's supposed to teach you how to play the game. It's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to teach you the freaking controls. The idea of a hard tutorial is ridiculous. And yes, it is. So much so to the point where it's actually kind of a meme. People actually remember this thing being really hard. But you know what? I've never played it. Even though I've owned it for freaking years in my collection, I've never actually played it. So you know what? Enough jibber jabber. Let's get to it. And let's jump in and see if this thing is actually hard or not. So no fiddling around here, I'm just going to go straight to the story mode. Which in this case is Undercover. New game. And to brush past all this, you are an undercover cop named Tanner, and you are going under as a getaway driver. So without further ado, let's get to it. Oh boy. The controls are not hard to figure out, but this gives you nothing. It just says do these things and do it under 60 seconds. And before we delve into how crazy this actually is, I am actually impressed here by the opening mission. Not because of the gameplay, or the graphics for that matter, but because this is a reference to something. Bit of a tangent here, but this game is heavily inspired by the car movie genre of the 70s. You know those movies that all center around amazing car stunts and almost always ends in a spectacular chase scene. Well, to narrow it down, this game is heavily inspired by one particular film, Walter Hill's The Driver. I mean, that should be clear by now. But back to the mission. This mirrors a scene in that movie where the driver, played by Ryan O'Neal, is tasked by a group of bank robbers to prove that he can drive. This scene is also in a parking garage, and the driver proves how great he is at controlling the car by surgically destroying the car piece by piece. Kudos to the stunt drivers, and even actor Ryan O'Neal for actually doing some of these scenes. But I digress. While the whole mission is clearly based off that, you actually don't get to destroy the car. That's a no-no. Instead, you're meant to do everything on the list, and you can only make 4 mistakes. Otherwise, you gotta retry from the beginning. Now, this is automatically hard for one reason. You don't know what the hell you're doing. But this is the PS1 era, so if you wanna know how to play the game, you gotta pop out this bad boy. And yeah, controls-wise, it does give you the controls. Okay. But yeah, I don't know what the hell a slalom is, but well, thankfully it is in here. Watch the demonstration car closely as it weaves through the concrete pillars in a continuous figure 8 motion. Complete a full slalom of 1 row of pillars to pass this move. That doesn't help. Also, what the hell is a demonstration car? Catch yourself back to the PS1 days. You had no internet, so no videos to help you. So yeah, for a lot of kids, they got stuck here, because you can't go on to the main story without completing this mission. So that sucks, right? This game is automatically broken. Well, no, because if you go back to the main menu, you'll see that this isn't the actual tutorial. On the main menu, you can see high scores, chase, a free driving mode, but also a training mode. And this is where the real tutorial is. Cool your jets. This is not an oversight. The developers want you to hit this up first. So let's check it out. And there are 2 options. I want to start with the garage because that's the whole point of this video. And first up, bonus points for using a picture of the original dual analog controller, and not the original pad or even the DualShock 1. But second, holy shit, what is this? This is supposed to be like DDR or something? I gotta press the buttons perfectly? I mean, this definitely helps show you how to play the game, but do I need to copy it verbatim? Also, there's the demonstration car, but okay, whatever, let's just try it. Wait, have to do it exactly? You have to mirror the ghost car? Well, thankfully, no. Yes, it shows you a clear path to be able to do all the stunts in one clear shot with a visual aid, but you can do every car maneuver in any order at your own pace. Well, not your own pace, that's a lie. But yeah, at least you can do it out of order. And while this is a bit daunting, it's actually a lot of fun. And I finally got the hang of it and finally beat it on the 11th try. So yeah, while I do agree it's hard, it ain't that hard. Now that is my perspective. I mean, I am debatably an adult, but also I'm not, a freaking world record holder. I'm not, a professional gamer. I'm not a person that's gonna freaking say, oh, I'm the best, I'm a gaming god, like one of those psychopaths out there. No. But I do like hard games. I do enjoy a bit of a challenge. I mean, I always start all the new Resident Evil games in the hardest mode. I love playing classic SNES games. And yes, I have gotten the true ending on Bloodborne without following a guide. So I kind of did it accidentally. But I haven't beaten Sekiro. So there's that. For me, this wasn't that hard. But this is a meme for a reason. And part of that meme is, people having PTSD and looking back and thinking the hardest moment of their childhood. And it goes to this. So let's ask another question. Would this be hard for a kid? Hell yeah. Without a doubt. I mean, our attention spans and motor skills sucked back then. So having to do all this was definitely a feat. Not to mention, when I first actually got this footage, I immediately went to the training mode. I looked for it since I had prior knowledge of it, while more than likely any kid back then would go straight to the main story mode, and was greeted with a huge wall with a middle finger on it. So no wonder this was burned into people's memories as being impossible. But now, as an adult, and again, as a person who's played this for the first time, it really wasn't that bad, and in fact, helped me understand how to play this game perfectly. It does not hold your hand, but if you actually take the time to learn it, this is a pretty damn good tutorial. Nothing worthwhile in life is easy, I guess. But yeah, if you actually came to this video to actually figure out how to beat this thing, I admire your dedication. What's it been, a couple decades? Jesus. But yeah, jokes aside, it's really not that hard once you get the hang of it. Instead of thinking that the demonstration is forcing you to follow every button press to a T, it isn't. It's just showing you how to do every maneuver one by one. So let's go through them. The burnout is just, well, press circle at the beginning, and you'll do, well, a burnout. The X button accelerates, and circle essentially floors it. I don't get it, but whatever. The handbrake is triangles, so just handbrake around a corner. The slalom is just you being able to bob and weave through these pillars, and you go through each of them, and then you turn around and you go through them again. Essentially 4 pillars, and then 4 pillars back. So just follow the path of the ghost car and you'll get it. 180 is pretty much do a 180 spin. This usually happened on its own while I was just maneuvering around. But if you can't get it for some weird reason, you can easily do it by accelerating fast enough and then handbraking into a 180 spin. Either direction, it doesn't really matter. Now, the 360 spin, you'd think would be the same thing as a 180. But no, what they actually want you to do is a donut. You can easily do this by holding circle and just moving in any direction and holding it down. Next, reverse 180. Now this one seems like it would be the hardest, but nope, it's actually pretty easy. Give yourself enough room, reverse with square for like 3 seconds, and then let go and turn without pressing any other buttons. The handbrake or anything won't help you, just do it by itself. Speed, once again, give yourself room, then accelerate and you'll easily get it. Brake test, best done with a speed objective. Just slam on the brakes with square right before you hit the wall. And then finally, the lap. Just go around the whole garage by using the 4 outer posts as your guide. And that's it. Just do it under 60 seconds and you are solid. So there you have it. Was this hard? In hindsight, no. But back then, yeah, I'd imagine this being pretty damn difficult. I mean, today, nowadays, freaking developers have to just pretty much spoon feed everything to you. You know, press this, go over here, do that for tutorials. Back then, just look at this video. Essentially, it was just, hey, you got it? Good? Moving on. Kind of admire that. It does make it memorable. That's why people freaking remember it after all these years. Now, as a bonus, I recall that there was more than one training level. So yeah, let's check out the desert. And yeah, this is pretty easy and more accustomed to how tutorials are nowadays. You just drive, avoid obstacles, and you can pretty much mess up as much as you want. You can still fail it by not keeping up with the ghost car, but this is a piece of cake compared to the car park. It even has 3 different courses, but these ain't fun, and not really worth your time. Well, that's the video, and yeah, It's kind of fun to do. I mean, not just play the game, but, you know, make this whole video. Because it's just cool to think about moments in, like, games where, like, just out of nowhere, the difficulty just spikes and it just gets ridiculous. You know, they kind of just stick in your memory like a sore thumb. You're just thinking, why the hell did it have to be that hard? Or why? It makes you ask, why the hell is this here? And with that being said, any suggestions? I mean, I kind of want to make more videos like this. I want to point out or highlight moments in games where they're just this difficult, just for no goddamn reason. And I mean moments. I'm not talking about, you know, like hard games. I mean, if I just want to play freaking Sekiro, I'll just do that right now and just, you know, blow my brains out. But no, I'm talking about just moments in games where it just gets hard for no reason, and just moments that just stay in your memory for just being like, what the hell? I mean, clearly there's some obvious choices out there. I already have them jotted down. But if there's anyone out there who has like one that's a little obscure, or maybe like games like, you know, I probably won't talk about in the future, throw a suggestion. Love to hear it. But yeah, regardless, that's the video. Thank you for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.